Lynn Savage is a retired sheriff's deputy in Jacksonville, Florida. Just days ago, she was arrested and thrown in jail. Her crime? She wanted to stay with her daughter, Amber, in the hospital as her daughter recovered from brain surgery. Amber is nonverbal and partially paralyzed. But the hospital's COVID regulations banned visitors after 7 p.m. So when Lynn Savage refused to leave her daughter's side, she was arrested by the police. Lynn Savage joins us tonight. Lynn Savage, I really appreciate your coming on. This is the kind of story it upset me even to read that script. Tell us what happened to you.
My daughter had a stroke in 2015. As a result of the stroke, they removed part of her skull to reduce the swelling. And then they replaced that portion of the skull. Over several years, that portion of the skull fell and started to fuse to her brain. So we went in on Monday to have that taken care of. What they would do was go in and the same incision, take that skull out because the weight of it was affecting her aphasia and apraxia. She's nonverbal. And then they would replace it with a prosthesis.
So the hospital said at 7 o'clock you have to leave your daughter's side.
Right.
Tell us what hospital, please name the hospital if you would. What hospital is it?
University of Florida on Max Leggett.
So they told you you have to leave because COVID, and you said no. What happened next?
I told them that I wasn't going to leave my daughter's side. She had taken a turn for the worse. They did another MRI, and this MRI was worse than the one right after her surgery. Also, her body temperature had fallen to below 90 degrees, and Amber doesn't speak, and prior to that, she had just become frantic, and she was pulling out tubes and things, so the doctor had asked me to stay there and keep her calm, which is what I was doing. I had been with her since 6:30 in the morning. And what I was doing was just keeping her calm, and I'm pretty much her advocate for communication and
You're her angel.
Because she's nonverbal.
Patients need advocates, and all of us have seen
You're her mouth.
loved ones who've been left without advocates in the hospital. And it's
Her protector.
You ever want to leave a loved one ever.
Her mom.
So they arrested you. Did the hospital?
Wow.
What did the hospital say? I mean, there must have been.
Nice. I'm glad you didn't die.
Nice people. Did any of them say this
You could have died being arrested from a heart attack, worrying about your daughter.
Well, the nurse came in and said visiting hours were over at 7, and I asked her to please contact somebody to make an exception because Amber she was frantic and she's unable to communicate.
She probably heard all of it.
The nurse refused to do that, and then she called security.
Oh, the boss said no.
I explained to them that I'm not leaving my daughter. They have packed her in this rubber thing to bring her body temperature down. She was frantic, and I was able to help her breathe and be there, somebody that she understood. And
I'm so sorry.
And I wanted to stay, and I told
It's like fucking Hitler times, man.
The nurse said she'd have to.
They're gonna gas you, dude.
I said, do whatever you have to do, but I'm not leaving my daughter's
side.
Good for you. Good for you. I wish
well, no, it's horrible. Everybody takes that stand, but they don't get talked about. Many ladies have been yanked out of their kids' rooms.
Behind my back and led me out to the cruiser where I sat for 3 hours with my hands cuffed behind my back.
Oh my God.
What was your crime?
3 hours in a fucking cruiser? Talk about the boys in blue now, Tucker.
They decided that visiting hours were over at 7 and I should leave. And I told them that I cannot, in good conscience, leave my daughter when I don't know whether she's going to live through the night. And that I wanted to stay and they needed to do whatever it is they needed to do. But I wasn't leaving voluntarily. They'd have to take me out of there in handcuffs. And that's exactly what they did.
America, we're going to stand for this? Or we're going to sit for it? We're going to sit for it, ain't we? We're not going to stand for shit. We're going to sit for it.
The police officer that arrested me kept trying to talk me into just going home. He didn't want to arrest me.
Just go home, lady.
And I'm telling
Let your daughter die, brother.
Go ahead. If you take the cuffs off, but I'm going back up to see my daughter. I am not leaving my daughter when I don't know if she's going to live.
In a rubber bed, packed in a friggin'... I'm so sorry. That's my fault too, ma'am. I need to do more. I'm going to make more videos, and I'm running for governor, don't forget.
So the Biden administration says it's going to use...
So let's be clear. Actually, let's jump around. My little daughter battled cancer when she was almost 2. One doctor said, don't worry about that tumor in her head. Another doctor said, don't worry, it ain't cancer, I know it. One doctor said, I think it is cancer, let's do an MRI. The other person said, don't do an MRI. And my daughter has cancer, had cancer. Now her heart's all messed up, all kinds of stuff. They wouldn't let us do this. Then one lady died, they couldn't take more tumors out last year at Hopkins. They won't let us in. They won't let us in. You can't go here. The other day, the doctors didn't see my daughter outside. He wouldn't come look at her because she didn't have the COVID shot yet. Well, she can't get the COVID shot yet. You know what? It's really, really, really sickening. And we know what's right. And these power trips are really killing us. Really, really killing us. We can fix this. I'm running for governor in Maryland. Then I want to be president of the United States. And then president of the daggone, what's it called? Not the New World Order. United Nations, baby. Yeah, that way I can run the whole world straight and get us all figured out. Because right now, somebody's driving this sumbitch just off the tracks. It ain't right, people. We're better than this. All us hard-working Americans, much hard work as we do, go home eating shit every day. We got shit on our lips, girls and boys. It's time to stand up. Talking about we're going to do something. Let's go. Meet us in the middle. Joe Webb, Governor of Maryland, 2022. Sign the petition.